I had this foster mom who agreed to the session, talked to her multiple times, and then, it's like mandated, so she cannot not do it, right? But anyway, so I think she knew that if she didn't do it, we have other people we have to talk to that are asking, did you complete the session? So sometimes the courts mandate services.
Did you do your clearing exercises?
So that is that. She was a beautiful person, but no, I didn't do clearing for today. Like I just got off the line with her, just got off Zoom. Let me pull out your file. So how are you doing over there?
Oh, I am totally immersed in grandkids, my daughter, my ex-wife, the tribe's all here. And
Mhm.
however, it's about 28 degrees, so it's a little bit different than San
Oh, it's
Diego.
nippy.
But yeah, we're in the Christmas spirit and all is well.
It looks like you are. I see the bamboo with Christmas lights and
Well,
ornament.
that's so you don't see the kitchen.
Oh, I'm just teasing you. Or
Got that
I'm
bamboo. Well,
freaking
no,
you.
bamboo grows naturally in Omaha, you know.
Oh,
Uh,
you have a jungle over there. I love bamboo, and I have a story when we first lived in Chino Hills. The previous owners had bamboo in the front yard, so I decided to trim it. So you know what happens once you trim it, right?
no,
It grows wild.
I didn't know.
It
I mean,
ruined the next door neighbor's sidewalk and all kinds of crazy stuff. So my husband's like, I can't believe you and that bamboo. I said, it wasn't my fault. It was already here.
well, the first house that I bought had bamboo around three sides of the backyard, so I took a pick and a mattock and I took it out by hand. That was hard work.
That's a lot of work.
That was hard work. Yeah. So anyway, let's just take a moment to center ourselves here.
Okay.
You know what the really cool thing is about the center?
What?
You don't have to create it. It's always there.
Always
And
there.
and that's the cool thing about, being a human being is we have the opportunity to choose it and choose it and choose it. I think that's what defines a really, really good healer is,
Mm,
yeah, the mind goes here, the mind goes there. Okay, well, so what? I'm just
mhm.
bringing it back right now, you
Right.
know? So let's just take a moment to choose that place of center within ourselves where we know that there are distractions and we know there's many demands on us and we agree and we accept that. And
Hmm.
we also realize that we have the power of the will to choose to allow that center to be amplified,
Hmm.
to be shown more clearly, to be grasped more firmly. No matter what the exigency is, we just make this gentle course. And then through that course, future choices become easier and quicker. It
Hmm.
doesn't take as long to reveal the center. It is just simply a matter of, okay, I'm in the center. I'm on the center. I'm on the center.
Hmm.
So moving forward today, we accept our power. We know we live in oneness. We know there's no separation. And we choose to be vulnerable to that place of the center in every moment. We choose to allow it to issue forth. There's nothing to create, only to access that which we already are. Breath in and breath out. Breath in gently and easily, and breath out. Feeling focused, centered, and recharged. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
So I'm pretty calm now because I really like that. foster mom is just that whole, okay, Dr. Jane, I can't do it. She didn't make it. And then knowing it's really on her, not me. It's court ordered, right?
Yeah.
So it may not work out in the end, and I release whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen, right?
Hmm. It sounds very practitioner-like of you. Practitioner who's about halfway through her training.
Oh, what? Halfway?
Well,
I have to get on 10.
18 levels and then another 400 levels after that. But,
Oh, 400? That's it?
well, there are advanced levels, but the
Oh,
practitioner
interesting.
is 18 levels.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you sent me uh, 4 reflective practices. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, 6 more, and you do your tests on levels 8 and 9. Then we
Hmm.
move on to possession, which is you really are wise to, take a year and a half of training before you even think about any kind of removal of possessions,
Hmm.
because most students they're just not ready. Even if they say, well, conceptually, I get it. Well, that's not the same thing.
Right.
It's like imagining a bright light versus standing in front of a bright light. It's not the same thing.
Right.
Spiritual teachers talk about it all the time,
Hmm.
you know. So you're having a direct reveal, and the advantage that you have is that you've always been very cognizant of people's biofields, their auras.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
now, thanks to you, and I didn't realize to what extent till we start talking about the empath, was I feel what they're feeling. Like these are not, you'll see the descriptions, and these aren't about the biofields. I can close my eyes. Like when I close my eyes, what I see in your field is that you are lit, but behind you, it wasn't pitch dark, but it was darker. I could see a
Hmm.
frame. It's almost like your head is there. There's a dark. You're in a frame,
Mm, I
is
like
what I
that.
see. So you're like in another dimension simultaneously, but the darkness is, it's around a lot of people. Doesn't mean you are taking on the darkness, but the darkness
Hmm.
is attracted to you. But anyway,
No, I get that.
so
Hang on, let me
I
make sure
hear
my
what you're
battery.
saying.
There we go.
I think
Yeah.
the reason why I could probably see the auras is for a couple of reasons. One, I was almost blind when I was a kid, and my mom didn't know it till very late. So I've worn glasses as long as I can remember. So I had to use my other senses, right? The next one was I had head injury when I was really small.
What type of injury?
Well, I was at a park, we're at a family reunion, and I slipped on grass and hit my head. And
Mm,
for a long time, I think I still have, yeah, the scars right here. So it knocked me out. I'm bleeding profusely. They had to get me to the hospital. So I was knocked unconscious. Yeah. So when I
wow.
tell people my life story, if you heard all the accidents, injuries, it's almost like, and my daughter says, she says, Mom, I don't know how you're still alive. And I was one of those kids that were like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to live to be older than like 20 or 21. I'll be very
Now,
blessed if I make it to be an adult, right?
now
Because of all
you have too many asses to kick.
the, but she was right. I was when I start to think, uh, yeah, anyway, you get it.
I do.
So, uh,
So before we get into your reflective practices,
mhm.
do you have any questions or comments thus far?
There is an entity, so I'm practicing some other things for clearing, but I think it happened from Cindy. I think if Cindy's feeling better, that little thing is trying to, it knows it can't penetrate, but it's hanging around. So I've had like the pots move. I have seen things, and so has my husband, and we've heard things like last night he said, "Are you washing clothes?" And I said, "No,
Well,
I
it's
thought you
interest
were washing clothes."
it's interesting you should bring that up because she lives east of Calgary. I'm thinking maybe 90 miles, a place called Medicine Hat, where I've been several times.
Hmm.
Anyway, she was married to Joe. and they took the training together.
Mm,
And sometimes what happens is healers can fall into fascination, like they're fascinated about the healing and the aura and all that stuff, but then they
mm,
start using it as a perversion.
mm,
Like if the guy says, "Well, I know I'm married to you, but I can love anybody I want at the same time, and that's
mm,
my choice, and I'm evolved, and that's just the way it is," you know.
mhm,
So they ended up separating,
mm,
and we can talk because this is confidential and we're healers.
mm,
But he kind of went into this free love thing,
mm.
and they both were deeply affected by it. One of the really good things that I see, Tanya, is Cindy came back. She
Yeah,
came back. She came back into this work. You cannot do this work and have nothing happen to you. It's like you
right.
cannot go to the gym and lift weights and say nothing happened,
Hmm.
you know? So I'm just really glad that you've been working with her.
Well, it was one time, but I think whatever may have been attached to her was looking for another attachment, but uh, it hasn't penetrated, if you will. But it's hanging around, and then the dimensions. There's more to that then because I've seen a dog, like the spirit of the dog in the house we're renting right now, and even the person. I saw someone sitting on a piece of furniture.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Well,
when I looked again, it was gone. So it's like
okay.
your
Let me
side
let
view.
let me remind you, this is normal for you to take this training. You're coming up on 2 years. For
Hmm.
you to see these things and perceive these things is completely normal. It's
Hmm.
not a fascination. And that's why leading up to possession is so important that you have this accomplished. And let me say further, and I've told you this before, there have been healers that I stopped at level 9.
Hmm.
I would not let them go on
Hmm.
because they were not stable enough to be
Hmm.
able to take out a negative being. And I have to think about my number one priority is the safety of my practitioners.
Hmm.
Example, if I thought you weren't ready, I would say, "Oh, gee, I'm sorry, but we can practice at level 9 for maybe another year and see how it goes."
Hmm.
And I've had some healers very, very, very unhappy with me.
Oh. But like you said, it's a fascination. So I already know I'm in the right place. And I think slowing down is great. Um, and going slow. Because that's the method we use in the program that I developed is that, when we're using development techniques, the babies don't get it all. If you go too fast, they miss steps. If they have older siblings, they may have missed a lot of steps because what's uh, provided for them is at a higher level beyond what they're ready for. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's that. I don't have any questions except for I'm just looking at different ways to clear and keep the spirits. But I think we are at a different moment in time where, I have to look at this. If the dimensions have crossed over, it may be beyond, we can't stop them from being here, but from like challenging us, yes. So I think if you feel it's a negative experience, which I haven't, the dog in the house, I didn't feel like, oh, this is an evil spirit or whatever, or even the person. Usually what I'll do is tell them to go to the light of God.
Okay,
Uh,
but Tanya, that works both ways.
mm-hmm,
You see them, they see you.
mm,
When they realize that you see them,
mm-hmm.
now you've got their attention.
Uh,
So just be advised that, if I didn't think you were ready, I would tell you, but
mm-hmm.
you're completely ready.
So I usually pull out the holy water, then, bless the house again, everything. It's like, yeah, we're gonna take care of this because,
I was thinking more like what a flamethrower does, just have it be a holy
oh,
water thrower. It's just like
yeah, there you go.
like a
douse,
fire
like
hose.
a fire. Yeah, the fire truck full of hoses, like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the plane comes by and dumps all the water on holy water.
Yeah, I didn't have a negative vibe from the spirit, but you know, it's time for them to make some other decisions, right?
Well, remember what you're really doing is you're healing both the person and the attachment.
Mm,
You're not so much removing them as you're healing them to go to their next level. That's why if a person says, "Well, I know I was born, but I don't want to be born anymore from my mother," you can't say you can't do it in reverse. It doesn't work that way. So when you're doing a healing on a negative entity, let's
mm,
just call it an entity, which is like a mid-level possession,
mm-hmm.
it cannot go back. I mean, a person could become possessed again, I guess, some other way, but not the same one.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
Okay. Those were it. And I know we have yours. I've used yours techniques. I do feel like the crystal helps me um to clear.
Okay. Just clear your crystal when you're done. They can be like a lint filter too, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can collect all kinds of stuff. Even the best filters, need
Right.
replacing or
Need to
renewing
replace.
sometimes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Hey, you seem a little distracted. Are you okay?
Well, I had that phone call. No, I keep looking at the reflective practices, so I'm ready. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. Shoot, I gave you screen sharing.
Oh, okay. So I didn't have to pull them out. That's what I did. I got them out of my file, the physical ones, but
Okay.
with the written. Let me see here. Screen sharing. There we go. Yeah, it's been one of those wild days, and I didn't pull them up yet, so that's the wrong one. Let me see what I can do first. I have to pull them up. Oh, I don't even have the external. Let me do that. Yeah, I didn't tell you, but I'm under the weather, and I did have Wanda call me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I do have the shingles again, but I think it's because I was stressed.
No.
Yeah, I think because I was stressed, I don't even feel bad about it. It's just I have to remember, I'm taking antibiotics. I don't have as much energy, and so I did
So
something. Someone came to visit, so I had to clean up the house and prepare for
Michelle,
them.
Michelle would say take probiotics because
Yeah, I've been
I was
taking.
sick for a full 2 weeks. I took
Uh-huh.
probiotics and it really messed me up. It still
Oh,
has, and
okay.
it's been 11 days now.
Oh, okay.
So take probiotics, rest.
And that's
Take
the key. I have to rest, but you already know I'm running this program, so.
I do,
And it's the end of the year. We had end of the year celebration, so we got a lot going on, right?
and it's a high emotion time. If you
Mm.
celebrate Christmas or holidays, it can be a high emotions.
Well, I didn't share with you, but we had like I did. What the last reason why I went to uh Texas. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, perfectly.
But I didn't tell you the whole thing, but it brought up a whole bunch of old trauma. Uh-oh, it moved a little bit. Anyway, that's good enough for you to see. But yeah, it brought up old trauma. So working through that and my goal, I already set a goal for myself, so I know it's related. So the symptoms were dissipating as soon as more stress came in, I could feel it getting worse. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's stress related and I just need to chill, like you were saying. So and then resolve things before 2026. So I'm already on the path.
Hmm.
All right, so this one is, let's see, who did I name it? This was, I believe it was Yoko. I had a
Yeah,
question mark.
RPL 8-9 Yoko.
Yeah, anyway. So when I saw Yoko, what I had was is interesting. Never saw this before. It was as if her whole being was connected. So grounding, the root chakra was
Yeah.
connected to her pineal gland.
Oh.
Um, then when I got to sacral, there was a slight cramping on her side. So then with solar plexus, it felt like she was overwhelmed, like overthinking something. The heart chakra, I just felt like a shower of downloads. Information was coming through from that
Hmm.
place of just pure love, right? Then the
Would
third
explain the
eye,
tiredness.
was dominant. And
Hmm.
then the crown was stimulated, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's get to it, and I'll talk more about those diamonds you saw in the write-up.
Yeah.
So all fields were affected. It was a remote, as you know. The root chakra I felt was overworked and stressed, even though it was this beautiful connection. So her being grounded is connected to that knowing. We'll get more into it. Then I
Okay.
already talked about these, so I'm going to go ahead and move down.
Yeah,
The
that's fine.
throat though did have an anomaly. There was a lump in her throat, like restricted language. So I felt like when I got there, it's like and I told her you know, it was restricted, but I almost felt like sorrow, like you cried a lot and you can't talk. So I don't know if you've ever, I'm a crybaby when it comes to those really great movies. And so it was like a lump in the throat. You can't talk, and it's not like anybody holding that, but that's the you know, physical part that I felt when I got there. The third eye was excessive, but it improved through the second inventory. The crown felt like there's some tension, but it did improve. So I think she's overthinking it and want to do more. So all the biofields today were affected. Participant is a kind and warm spirited person. The root chakra connected to her feet and third eye, indicating she's feeling overwhelmed and has not returned to grounding routines. As I worked on her second chakra, it was clear there are two unique worlds in her field, and those are the diamonds. But for them to be diamond shaped and then
Wow.
bigger than the other one, her third chakra presented with a sense of being overwhelmed. So you know how they're presenting to me now is I could close my eyes and these lights, the figures, geometric designs present themselves. So this is like increasing now. While her heart is open and currently she's receiving downloads, the fifth chakra is performing at a low frequency due to inability to speak and be heard, transmute wisdom.
Hmm.
Why? Participant is connecting
Um,
to the new dimension but is feeling overwhelmed, maybe due to not moving forward in her dreams. A message to receive was to not give in. Her heart is open to receive and at this time may be overwhelmed by a heart-centered message she is receiving from the universe.
where are you
There
reading
is,
that from? Because I don't see that on my screen.
I wonder if it stopped sharing. So I'm at the
So,
Y part on number
yeah,
one.
put the cursor where you are right now.
Okay, so let's start with the Y.
Okay, I'm with you. Now,
Okay.
um, remember how last time you said that you were talking about two things. One was going sequentially through every level, and you no longer have to do that. You can skip and choose, just like pulling tools from a tool belt. And number two was, the ability to make notes on the fly,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So, what was that? Was that having like two computers,
No, I
or
actually rewrote these. I'm rewriting everything is what's happening.
oh, okay, all right,
So I'm not there yet, but that's my goal. But I think I have to get a tablet because I like seeing you
yeah,
guys because I'm on the computer right now. So if I had you on the phone, that would
okay.
be not good. And
Well, no, I just want to help you wherever I can.
yeah, I think that's going to help me move quickly. The other thing is that you already made the suggestion, and it is when you are done, write it up. So we have
Yeah.
Monday night. So during that
Hmm.
week, write it up,
Hmm.
type it up, put it in the
Yeah.
computer in the Word doc form.
Hmm. Hmm.
That
Yeah.
would simplify. So
Yep.
anyway, I feel like these are coming out sooner than the other ones did.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So the why is already got into the message received was to not give in. Her heart is open to receive, and at this time may be overwhelmed by a heart-centered message she's receiving from the universe. This is an emerging of many worlds, or she has opportunities available to her.
Do you
Participants,
mean
they're,
do you mean emerging or merging?
well,
Those are
emerging.
those are two very different things.
It's emerging. They're becoming more prevalent, presented in her field.
So she's awakening.
It could be awakening, but I think more things, yeah, she's awakening to what's already here, right? Many
Okay. All
things
right.
we don't know exist. I mean, I'm just now formulating this with you right now that,
Got
yeah,
it.
that is the reality. We don't know everything. We don't know everything that is. And
Okay.
so now we're seeing things, but there are new things that are presenting themselves as well, right? That's what I feel. Some of these things are not old because of the transition of where we are, right? Humanity, the
So
world,
so
etc.
when you give an assessment,
Hmm.
I know I know you know this. I just because I'm teaching, I have to say this. When you give an assessment, what you're really doing is you're accessing very, very high levels of intuition,
Mm-hmm.
and you're processing it through your own physical mind
Mm-hmm.
in a way that you understand, but you're also doing it in a way, you're formatting it in a way that Yoko could understand. So you're going to change. Every person is different. You're going to change the way you relate to every person. But what this is actually doing is strengthening your mind because you're getting more agile in how to adapt what you say to the level and the capacity of the person you're talking to. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna keep finding that your reflective practices are getting more and more refined, more and more accurate for the person. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to be aware that what you're writing is really showing your growth.
Mm, thank you. I just feel like, well, anyway, you already know my
Makes
story.
Does that
So,
make sense?
uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. The old world view is clear as the new world represents truth and as a unity of souls. And then note is recommended participants seek balance in her spiritual, physical, emotional, and physical worlds. And then the next one, work was completed working on all chakras, starting with the root chakra, moving upward to the crown chakra.
Mhm.
Physical relief was a focus, reducing cramping my right side, and it was her left side,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
encouraging healing for spirituality, movement, and action. Next, provided love to her heart and encouraged balance. The heart is overwhelmed as she is a giver and shares her compassion. Support was given to her fifth chakra to speak and transmute the truth with confidence. There was a sense of restriction causing some delay in her ability to speak. It is
Nice.
recommended that participant complete a ceremony to assist with clarity. She wants to save the world as she believes her ancestors have. Discuss identifying her personal mission and completing an exercise to assist her as she connects to that mission. So the third one,
Yeah.
so here's
Yeah.
the thing,
And maybe
mhm,
and maybe she was that very person in her own past life. Maybe it wasn't some other past life. Maybe it was hers.
maybe,
So
maybe.
that's called recapitulation when you're
Mm.
bringing forward the power that you had already achieved in the past lifetime into this lifetime.
It's interesting you say that because that's how we see ancestors and what have you. And sometimes, like you said, it's a version of ourselves, right?
And it could be that you were that ancestor.
Mm. So, three, participant must speak her truth and move forward in the journey or her mission. She has become stagnant in her journey and feeling emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually overwhelmed. The current transition is not hers to understand fully or forced to complete quickly. The
Mhm.
other realms and dimensions are beyond our comprehension.
Okay.
So I want to go into number four because the recommendations entail the following. I think the numbering is a little off here. As instructed by Dr. J, suggests she allow herself time to feel the effects of tonight's session and process the integrative chakra therapy session. Take care of self for the next 3 to 5 days. I initially had the impression that she was experiencing some confusion regarding her mission as she was physically, emotionally, and spiritually challenged. While
Mm,
reading the mind in a discussion with her, it was clear she is challenged by her role. As she indicated, she has a history of her ancestors who made many sacrifices. The participants wants to bring healing to the planet like her ancestors, and she alone cannot save the planet. As a collective energy worker, she may do her part in holding space for all good.
mm,
And then the recommendations were made to create a chant, use all the elements of the planet to join in this period in time to do the work or mission she came to complete. She agreed to chant while holding, I should have said, while lighting a candle, release her incense infused water by putting out the candle and incense. I shared that all should be done with ease. She can release her struggle to bring about peace as her ancestors have and move like the elements. It is recommended she release stress and move or transition in balance.
mm.
Follow-up wasn't completed. We haven't seen her since.
Yeah,
When asked if the message resonated, she indicated initially that she is clear of her mission. However, she is overwhelmed by the mission to bring about, it's world peace, basically.
yeah.
Discuss with her that peace is already here and she must hold the light. That was it.
Well done.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jane.
So what's bittersweet about that? You
Oh, I
know that
forgot.
not you know that 95% of all communication, not verbal or physical, you know that it's flowing through you. But every once in a while, sometimes people backslide. Sometimes they don't want to hear what you have to say because you're accurate.
Mm,
So sometimes the healers experience some kind of, challenge when you know that you're right on and the person not going to do it for whatever reason. Then that's where you got to be very Buddhist and just say, well, I help you with this, and let's, go forth and sin no more kind of thing.
I like her. Yoko is pretty cool, but I
She's
think
delightful.
many light workers are now looking like it is their job. They signed up to save the planet, and the reality is, I believe they're part of a collective group, that the weight of the world is not just theirs, that there are many who have
Uh-huh.
accepted the same challenge.
Uh-huh. But
So
you
yeah.
occupy a niche. Like if you were a neurosurgeon and you only operated on the nerves in the human body, that's an incredibly specialized area of medicine. And
Mhm.
when you work on the chakras, we don't always have empirical evidence that says I took a cell culture and this is what I saw clearly because I have a
Yeah.
microscope. You're going into places that give you direct inner revelatory understanding of the spiritual nature of the human being, which, and I've said this two or three times for a reason, which improves you
Hmm.
on every level for everybody.
Yes.
So because you occupy this niche in chakras, the reason why I have my practitioners give assessments is so that you can better understand yourself.
Hmm. That's really great. So I know for me, um, it's doing this part. So, I had talked to Marty. I was like, Marty, how did you do this? How did you get through it all? And she says, well, I didn't have the technology. I'm like, what? She says, I didn't have the technology to actually do the part with the computer. I said, oh, okay.
Well, but I mean, she was a bookworm. She
Oh,
studied, she
yeah.
she applied herself.
She is a bookworm, and she has this super ability to retain the knowledge and advance.
Yeah.
I get Marty for sure. Yeah,
Um,
she's a superhero, that's for sure.
so what file number am I looking at? I know
So
this is
this will
Wanda.
be the second one in this series. So I have 41, and I
So
labeled her would
this is our
be
RPO 8.
number two.
Okay. That's why. Okay, Wanda. Got it.
All right. So on this form, I have the right numbering. Yeah. So you
Yep.
can see I'm
Yep.
almost halfway there. 45 will be
Well,
halfway.
that's a big accomplishment. Don't take it lightly.
Time to party on the rooftops. All right. So we can start with her root and not she's not grounded, but sacral. I was getting that, we'll go into more specifics, but to listen.
Hmm.
Her solar plexus was warming on the right side. I believe that was the dominant chakra in terms of during
Okay.
the session. Um, Heart, there was a headache. Once I attached to her heart, there was, connected to her heart, I just got a headache. Her whole body, you could see this. Throat was sore, and you'll understand the correlation. Third eye was exhausted. The crown, the messages were getting louder. Like, I am here connected to you. And, I think part of Wanda, and this is not what I even wrote up, is that she doesn't accept the true power of her ancestors. She is living in this dimension, this existence, and her whole reliant is Christ. And I have no problem with that. Christ is one of those guides that I call into, but we've seen it, and I didn't see her spirit guide like I have in the past, but I could hear and sense them. And she's not listening, and now her body is taking a toll, a big toll,
Mm. Yeah.
for
Yeah. I'm just
ignoring.
tuning in as you say it. Yep.
So everything was remote, that all
Yep.
biofields were
Yep.
affected.
Hmm.
Her root chakra, like I said, wasn't grounded, so she's not doing well. Sacral, same. Solar plexus was the dominant. Heart, I felt like was excessively stressed. Um, and it wasn't, by the second inventory was balanced. The throat restricted, for what I said is a sore throat. It improved, so I didn't feel the sore throat with the second inventory. The third eye is just exhausted. And I think because she
Hmm.
can be part of that new paradigm, but because of all these other challenges, she's not open to actually do the work and continue and to advance. You get it. The crown, she's getting a lot of downloads. If she chooses, the door is open. All right. So all biofields were affected today. Wanda is exhausted in all fields. Participant is a natural healer, but has neglected herself. She is seeking her place. She really is looking right now. And I think, like, she called me. So I think she's actively trying to match frequencies, but it's going to take more work than that. But anyway, Wanda's not grounded in her place on the planet, as indicated in her root chakra. Her sacral chakra indicated that she should listen to the knowledge available to her. During the session, there was
Very
an
much
itch
so.
on the right ear. Her giving, but I was wondering too, when I feel stuff, because sometimes I will feel like no, it was an itch, but I sometimes I will feel like a brush or something else, that there is something there, but not a negative entity. But anyway, we could talk more about that. Um, Her giving, as demonstrated by her heart chakra, presented with a headache. So she gives too much to the point that she has nothing left. Wanda's throat chakra physically presented as a sore throat. She is speaking too much, and I don't think speaking her truth. Her third eye is exhausted, and crown chakra is receiving messages. Wanda is at a crossroads of living in a world that does not serve her emotionally, spiritually, nor emotionally. Sorry, I meant the other one, psychologically, spiritually,
Hmm.
physically. I'll fix it. She will continue to be challenged as I'm going to ignore that call. Let me see if I can just send it to voicemail.
Okay. Take
There
your
we go.
time.
She will continue to be challenged as she may choose to connect to her highest level or live in a lower level and be confronted in all fields. So she's just
Okay.
getting attacked, and it's not even attacked, she's allowing this to happen. There are signs of trauma that have not been resolved in her mind. Body and spirit are taking on these energies.
Okay.
Work Work was completed working on all chakras, starting with the root chakra, moving upward to the crown chakra. Focus was placed on connecting to her sacral chakra to relieve stress to her shoulders and her right side of her body. There are karma related issues at play, and only Wanda will be able to complete the journey. I received messages that she overextends her heart to others and is disappointed when the relationships do not work out. Part of her journey is to speak her truth, no matter how big or small the issues may be. Her third eye is exhausted, connected, but at times performing at a lower level. It is recommended that participant ground, eat healthy food, stay hydrated, and reestablish her contract. All of Wanda's systems are performing at low levels due to lack of movement as a healer. Karma is something that has to be addressed as well. However, if Wanda listens to her guides and invite all of them in, she will increase her chakra energy.
Well, I
The
love that.
message the message received was live in moderation, process, work through past trauma, and listen. It is necessary to speak, but to send messages out energetically. Her fifth chakra presented as sore. She has said enough and now must put into action her mission and life plan.
I don't
Note,
know. I don't know that she really listens that much. I think there she tends to maneuver herself into her story.
mm,
Example, we had a co-president at CIHS, and this was in like 2019 when I'm the chair of the board, but I'm in there helping them in the office, right, to strategize and whatnot. And she would deliberately maneuver herself into the position of victim by saying to her contemporary, "You're attacking me," when
oh, no.
clearly there was no attack. So
Right, right.
sometimes one is going to frustrate you by
Mhm.
moving back into her story.
Mm. Well, I think she's looking for support because this is before I wrote this before she called me uh, for support, and
Hmm.
somebody called her that she was playing the victim. So this whole
Hmm.
cycle. So I think she
Hmm.
feels comfortable in it. I think she is looking for someone to take care of her. And then, like you said, I can see the position as a victim. And then she's seeking someone out to side with her and go, yeah,
But
you know, what
Well, but
have you.
she also needs someone strong like you who won't take any crap.
Mhm. Well, I set boundaries. I'll listen to her because then my empathetic side, but I'm limiting it. So it's not going to
Yeah,
consume me or I'm not
yeah,
going to give out too
exactly.
much energy. It
Hmm.
will be out of respect because she's an elder. But I really
Hmm.
believe when I met her, there was so much, I could see potential. And now she's just giving in to all of this.
Yeah.
So I'll get into this. Note her spirit guides and supernal beings have been sending messages that have not been heard, as indicated by her left ear itching. During the session, her guides were speaking to her as indicated by ringing in the ear. But I mean, you can't tell her, and she is relying on Christ, and she's my Savior, is my Lord and Savior. Great, me too. But we do have other gifts and supernal beings that are here. I mean, even in the Bible, if you want to go with angels, your guardian
Sure.
angel. So
Yeah,
I
guardians,
think she's,
protectors. Yep. Mhm.
mhm. As instructed by Dr. J, suggested she allow herself time to feel the effects of tonight's session and process the integrative chakra therapy session. Take care of self for the next 3 to 5 days. Wanda has reached out to me as a friend and usually reports that she felt relief. So this is me summing up this.
Good.
I do recall that Dr. J reported she felt off after the session I had with her. He suggested she allow herself the 3 to 5 days to feel the effects of the session. Once I spoke with her, she indicated that she felt better after the session. Maybe this was said out of kindness. However, Wanda's mind, body, and spirit can no longer exist in this plane as she is now. The universe is setting the path for her to make transitions. Due to her
Mm.
digestion challenges and side ache, I reflected on this information and will encourage her to seek professional assistance. Note, what I got is trauma from sexual abuse. Note this was not
Wow.
provided during the session. Recommendations were made to first look at her gifts, identify them, make a list, and begin to use them amongst friends in Monday night energy work or at her church. Next, I will now follow up with Wanda, encourage her to process trauma and find support from a professional, contact Dr. J, and finally create, it would be a site from contacting you, but a daily wellness plan. She noted that she received support from her church.
Hmm.
Follow So follow-up was completed. Wanda shared that she is feeling much better. However, she continues with more issues, suggesting an imbalance in all of her biofields. In summary, she's overwhelmed with the magnitude of her conflicts, challenges, and feels lost due to lack of a partner or children who may lend support. The support she seeks is here, always has been available to her, and many healers have shared. She resides in a religion-based world and may have some conflicts related to non-religion or church-based guides. And that's what we just talked about.
Mhm. Maybe there's some kind of recurring abandonment, like sometimes people have these negative self-fulfilling prophecies. See, Tanya doesn't care. See, Dr. J doesn't care.
Oh, she
See, they
says
don't care.
that. Not about you, but she says, "Oh, now you're not going to be my friend anymore." And I'm like, "Oh, well, we're not 5 years old, and um, that's not how I operate." Wanda, you'll be a friend, don't worry. But for me, it's like, like Wanda, she wants to enhance her vibration. I'm the same. I don't want to surround myself around with all Wandas. It will be a mix, right? It will be a
Yeah.
Dr. J. It will be like my husband, he's a professional and expert in his field. It may not be my field, but I want to elevate my vibration as well.
Good for you, though.
So let's pull up. I don't know if you have time for one more.
Shoot, lay it on me.
Okay, so we'll
Who do we
go to
have?
divinity.
Oh, yeah. It's been with us a long time, like Yoko. Same thing. Been with us a
Hmm.
long time, which is fine.
Divinity. So now I'll do the share because I have it up.
What number is it?
So divinity is number 3, so that would be 42. All right. So the root chakra, I saw a window. Sacral went right to her throat. Solar plexus ringing in the ears, and that was her um, dominant chakra. The heart, I felt some back pain that wasn't like severe and serious, but it presented as soon as I got there. The throat, she has challenging speaking, which was a secondary chakra. And the third eye connected to a new paradigm. Her crown, I could feel a great connection to God. All right. So all biofields affected. I think I repeated everything. There's nothing new here. So we'll go to the write-up.
Yeah.
So all biofields were affected today. Divinity has a lot going on in all fields, so let us begin. As I began working with her, a window presented itself with respect to her root chakra. So this is again me closing my eyes, and then this thing, the
Sure.
window presents itself. She may
Uh-huh.
enter or be part of a new opportunity, but here's the thing, it was slight. I don't think it's going to be there for long. Okay, so be a part of a new opportunity vibration if she moves now. Otherwise, the opportunity may cycle back. There's no guarantee. I believe that for myself. I don't know about her. The second chakra was a dominant chakra with her throat chakra as a secondary point. Next, regarding her sacral chakra, there was ringing in her ear indicating support has always been available. However, present was a sensation or feelings of being overwhelmed. This could have been an indication of overthinking.
Hmm.
Her heart is affected by the basically the back pain. I just
Hmm.
felt like, her heart's going overdrive, trying to figure out how to probably heal from the back pain. It didn't present as life-threatening medical condition, but worth mentioning. And I told her too, and we'll talk about what she said. Her fifth chakra presented with restrictions and difficulty speaking. Her guides provided strength as there was tingling in her face, like, we're here, you have it, you can do it. She is
Did you
connected to
did
the
did you tell her that, or did she tell you that?
what?
Tingling in her face.
No, I felt that. So when I connect to people, I see the auras,
Okay,
I see things, and
but
then I
but but
feel.
did you say that?
No, I don't think I told her there was tingling. I don't remember because, we're like, how much are you going to
Okay,
tell them? But I think I did. I think I said, your guides are there.
yeah.
Um, and when we talked about the fifth chakra, being able to transmute the truth, it's like, she's restricted, but the power's there.
Sometimes you're going to have a person to work on, and you're going to feel, what can I tell this person that's really going to help them understand that this work is real? Sometimes you'll see a birthmark on the body and they're fully clothed, but you see it nonetheless. You say there's a birthmark here from this past lifetime related to this or that, or your cheek is tingling because it's related to this or that. So sometimes you take the risk and you say it out loud, and they
Hmm.
go, wow, I can't believe it. How could you possibly know that? The reason why you do that is so that when you tell them the rest of the information, they'll be more receptive to say, well, gee, if she was right about the birthmark, then maybe the rest of it gives them more of your spiritual power, but it also helps them to go, okay, this is not a psychic reading. This is a
Hmm.
real assessment. So
Right.
there's going to be times when that's going to come to you because, you're getting along in your training. You're going to start seeing these things. And then you have to make an inner decision that says, okay, what's it worth to me to tell them this? Or do I need to tell them this so that they really understand that this is really going to help them?
Hmm. So what I got was she's connected to the new paradigm, but challenges are not allowing her to move forward. So
Okay.
what's going on? There's some past unspoken painful truth. Only divinity knows what it is. She's receiving messages that she has to support to work through the trauma. So
Yeah.
the session was completed working on all chakras, starting with the root chakra and moving upward to the crown. It is recommended that participant ground, be part of the physical earth, become one with the earth, melt, gel, and dissolve as a unit.
Oh, nice.
She chose to be here and elected the contract and life plan. Now that she must complete some hard work in order to move to the beat of the new vibration.
So she has to
No.
make a commitment, is what you're telling her,
Well, I
right?
think the trauma, because we had another session with Divinity, and I think it was me and Marty. So I have to look to see if this one was it, but I don't think so. I think I saw Divinity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And recently it was me, Marty, and then Marty basically picked up the past trauma, and I was like somewhere else in space, but we'll talk about that one later. But anyway, her ears perked up. Um, so this one, I know was trauma, but it's not like, I don't know, things aren't hitting me like a ton of bricks. It's almost as if before things would hit me a lot harder. And I don't know. Now I'm able to like, it's like I'm somewhere else
Got it. Smell it. Yep.
getting the info. But anyway, recommendations entailed as instructed by you. Allow herself to feel the effects of this process. Could take 3 to 5 days. Drink plenty of fluids. I was on the nutritional thing, like she's not eating well. So I did kind of like, hey, you really should pay attention to, what are you eating, your food intake, or you're drinking smoothies, whatever. Um, and this is what I told her. There's a history of trauma and she must speak her truth. I didn't say it like this, no matter how. I just
Yeah.
said it's time for you to speak your truth, no matter how you choose. And what the message I got, that is a painful truth. Next, this is what I suggested. Identify your guides, ask for what you want, clarify your request, say you want to say what you want, say it out loud. And it's basically by
Hmm.
yourself to the intended person, even if they're not present. Using a white crystal for clarity and connection to source and higher dimensions. Before and after spiritual work, use a white crystal to clear your fields and connect using the heart center exercise. It was recommended that she speak her truth. Something painful must be spoken. It is part of her past. So I didn't follow up when we did that other session with her because it was myself and Marty, and you already know the time constraints. But she did give me, I believe I have her information from when I asked for it before. So I got to really try and follow up with people and see what they think before the next time they show up. But she showed up,
Yeah.
recently again.
Ask her if she
Oh,
uses the crystal next time. What was her experience? How did that work
yeah.
for her? Because that's an object outside of herself, but it's a point of focus that she can do.
So for me, the crystal, if I use it, I have during our sessions, I think it really opens up because for me, I'm called to put it here on the third
Mhm.
eye. It really
Yeah.
opens up the third eye. So people will go, oh, I could feel my pineal gland. So I'm like,
Okay. Okay.
anyway, when I asked if it resonated with her, she said yes. She had a few questions. She also indicated that she experienced the shingles and had a rash on her back. So remember that back pain I experienced?
Yes, vaguely.
So that was so up here where I said she had back pain and I focused on relieving her from back pain.
Yes.
It was a shingles, so she identified that. Divinity shared that she changed her name, and this represents the steps in taking back her power. Her name is was not her biological name was not Divinity.
Yeah.
Standing in her power and moving to the new vibration, her truest version of herself.
Wow.
Because I said, Divinity, I love that name. And she said, Oh, I changed my name to Divinity. And she has a whole story behind it. I wish I had written it down because I don't remember, but it's a beautiful story about, I feel like this trauma she had. And I think it was sexual trauma, but I didn't tell her that. Um, and so
Well,
that,
yeah, over time, sometimes you just get to know some of the clients so well, like you always put yourself in a position to allow new information to be revealed to you,
hmm
because sometimes we go, okay, she's third chakra, she's fourth chakra, okay, blah, blah, blah. Avoid letting yourself fall into that trap of saying this is what it is.
right.
Be vulnerable, behold the meadow, all of that feminine principle stuff. And to
hmm
let it, because sometimes people are going through a challenge that's completely different than what you talked about. Like let's say a
right.
person is third chakra dominant, but
hmm
whammo, all of a sudden they've got this throat chakra thing going on. The seeds of karma in the throat chakra and sprouted and
The
got all
seeds
of
of
their
karma
attention.
and the
But
throat
they
chakra. My
but
gosh, Dr.
well, but they
J.
but they come to see you a second time and you go, oh well, it's her third chakra. I'll just talk about that. That's avoiding the possibility of really helping that person.
And sometimes if they're not ready to hear it, you're going to get a wall. And so
Yes.
already know in due time. And sometimes
Yes.
they'll make that indication that they're ready. And so it all comes together, right? So we have to be respectful and then catching ourselves too that, if you do cross the line, how do you then be respectful so they don't feel like that, you're adding more to the trauma and not helping, right?
You see how many moving parts there are in doing this work well.
Mm. Learning and then there's so much more. I'm feeling like who was it, Yoko? When I first came, yes, I have a mission in order to complete it. I want to join the group and I think a lot of people feel like, yeah, one of their missions was to help save the planet. And the
Yes, of
reality
course.
is we collectively, like you say, everybody is not what was the famous person you picked out?
Paramahansa Yogananda said, not everybody can be a Henry Ford or a Thomas Edison,
Right.
but every life is the same of valuable to the creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I feel too. Yeah. But we don't have to be the center. And I think I don't speak a lot because I don't feel like I want to be the center, but I do have things to say and I do have a unique way of saying them. So,
hmm
I overheard part of the group on Tuesday and I did want to join, but I had the shingles. So I'm still looking for urgent care to get the antibiotic and the help, right? Because my primary doctor, she's like, well, if you can't come in, I don't think it is. But when I went to urgent care, they're like, oh, yeah, we think it's the shingles.
That sucks. Are you through it now?
No, I just started the antibiotic yesterday because
Okay,
I
we'll
didn't
take
get it until, no, I started on Wednesday because the group was on Tuesday. It was like, oh, let's try to get back in time to log in because it is important to have the support because
take
things
some
do come up.
probiotics, put healthy flora back in your gut,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, if you could send me or you remember like more of the drinks. I have yogurt that's a probiotic, but I've been taking the yogurt for so long, I'm like sick of yogurt, so I have to find variety, right? Probiotic
You can go
variety.
to Sprouts. They have a refrigerated section with
Oh.
probiotics. So you have to keep them refrigerated, but they
hmm
have a ton of healthy flora in it. And I've been taking that for a week, and I really needed it because that doxycycline really whacked my immune system or the bacteria.
Well, believe it or not, also, so I cut out all my sessions, right? So I wasn't doing in-home sessions as I'm trying to get the help and reduce stress and all that, but just between last night and today, here's boom, back in the middle of the stress. But at least I'm not, I didn't want to expose the families or anybody to whatever. You
Hmm.
get it.
I do.
Yeah. But anyway, better go. I'm getting
All right.
called.
You have to
Work.
go now? Okay.
Yes. It's not
All right.
5 yet, so I'm still,
Okay.
we still get calls and my
Okay. Then
office manager's gone.
we'll reschedule by email. You
Okay.
did very well on these three reflective practices. So,
Do you have time
and
on Monday or you want to wait
I
till Friday?
I
What's it
can
look?
I can make time on Monday, but Monday
Mhm.
night I've got the thing for Dr. Murayama from
Oh,
5 to 7 your
okay.
time, which is 7 to 9 my time,
Hmm.
and I have to be really up for that.
Okay.
But other
So,
than
well,
that, yeah.
we'll text. We'll text then and see what makes
Okay.
sense because I want you to be fresh and do your thing. All right. Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
J.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you. Have a
right.
good
Have
weekend.
fun.
Oh, we are. We are. Okay. Bye.